Welcome to the channel Tech IT Knowledge. In this video, we are going to cover C++ ops concepts. So let's start. C++ is an object-oriented programming language. So what is object-oriented programming? As the name suggests, C++ uses real-life objects in programming, which aims to implement real-world entities like inheritance, hiding, polymorphism, etc. in programming. So we will see an example. So here we have a class person with function variables as name and ID and member function as get details. So the person has no identity. Person has no name and ID. So we will create an object of this user defined class. So we have created the object John. So John will have name and ID. Then we will again create another object with name Lily. So Lily will have a name and ID. So we'll see the next concept, which is data encapsulation. So we will see the same program with the same member variables and function. So here we can see encapsule. We know in real life capsule is a medicine which contains the ingredients. So the external material is shelled to the internal ingredients. So the same concept we use in programming, C++ use in programming. So it's nothing but the wrapping up of data and functions into a single unit is known as encapsulation. So data is not accessible to outside world and only those functions which are wrapping in the class can access it. So here the member functions can use the name and ID. Data encapsulation can be achieved by the access specifiers public, private, and protected. So this access specifier we'll see in details in coming videos. For now, I can say here public is an access specifier. Data abstractions, providing only essential information to the outside world. So here is the example of bike. We know uh, we know how to ride a bike and but we don't know the internally how the engine starts, speed control is managed, how fuel is used. These things are hidden from us. So similarly, only public member functions and variables are accessed outside the class, and private and protected are cannot be accessed outside the class to everyone. So the next concept is inheritance. So in real life, we know something is acquired by the parents one day can be given to the child. So similar concept is used in C++ here. The objects of one class acquires the property of object of another class. And inheritance provide the concept of reusability. One thing can be used multiple times. So here we have an example with the class name as person with the member variables and member functions. Here the member function is nothing but the constructor. Constructor has same name as the class name with no return type. It can have the arguments. So basically a constructor we use to initiate the member variables, as we have initiated name as nothing and age as 0. So we have the next class student which inherited from the class person. So here we can see the integer roll number and the constructor student. So the member variables from class person are inherited to class student. So these are the member variables. Name and age can be used in the class student. Student object can use this variable. So we will see the next concept, polymorphism. Polymorphism means the ability to take more than one form. An operation may exhibit different behavior in the different instances. So there can be multiple method with the same name which can perform different operation uh, when it called in different situation. So the behavior depends upon the type of data used in the operation. So here we have the class person with the same function name, but the arguments are different. If you see in the first method there are no arguments, in second method there is a single argument. So the calling to this methods obviously will be different. So in polymorphism, two things comes, function overloading and function overriding. We'll see this in next slide. So function overloading. In real life, we can consider overloading means something is overflowing. The water bottle, if we fill more water, it can be overloaded. So more than one definition to a function name in the same scope, which is called function overloading. In the class person, we can see there are three methods with the same name, but the arguments are different, right? So this is possible in C++. So the definition of the function must differ from each other by the type and or the number of arguments in the argument list. So function name can be same, but there must be different number of arguments. And yeah, you cannot overload function declaration that differs only by the return type. So there cannot be same function name with same arguments, but by different return type. So this questions gets asked in interview. Function overriding. So function can be written twice, but not in same scope. Here you can see class person and class student. These are two different scope, and same name functions are there with the same argument. Okay, so in this case inheritance must be there. To override a function, the inheritance must exist. If you see, the class person is inherited by student, class student, publicly. So bye for now, guys. In next video we will see the comparison between C and C++. Please like and subscribe to the channel to get next videos.